Okay, this is another solo Baltimore commentary. This is a particularly interesting game because, well, it was a loss, but I tried to carry super, super hard. Um, and I do a lot of kiting, so it kind of shows what kind of kiting techniques I like to use with the Baltimore and USN cruisers in general. Anything with a fast rudder shift time, this kind of kiting technique can be really, really good for.
General quarters.
First thing I ask, when I play this map and I spawn in the middle like this, um, I like to ask for a DD to smoke B, because it's really important to get early cap control of B cap. Because once you take, or whoever takes B first, it's very, very difficult to retake. So I get verbal confirmation that the DD is willing to smoke me, so I know I can go in. A lot of times, enemy DD will commit really, really hard to B before they spot you when you're in Baltimore, and you can get a free DD pick just right off the bat, which is very important.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
So the things I'm looking for when I'm doing this maneuver um, is one for me to be spotted, which I mean the way that the friendly DD is smoking just isn't going to happen. Sometimes it can happen on approach and before RDD smokes me. And two, for the cap counter to stop ticking. Neither of those things happen, so I don't radar. However, this Tashkent does show up, so I will be taking some shots at him to try to take him out.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. Target unit.
I do get some good damage on him. And again, I don't know where their other DD is, which is the Yugamo. So I'm gonna move out of smoke soon. Because the Yugamo could have easily launched torps at the smokescreen outside of cap. And I don't want to be caught in the smokescreen when he torps going through. I snap switch to AP because I see the Hindenburg turning broadside, and this is a really, really good salvo. Any other cruiser there would have been completely screwed. Probably 40 plus thousand damage, but since it's a Hindenburg with that very, very hard to Citadel turtleback, he gets away with 20,000. It's Montana. I take just a free shot since I know the island is blocking line of sight from him to me, so I don't get spotted. And I'm going to be heading in island cover soon, but I see this Bismarck. I snap switch to AP. He's giving a nice broadside. Take aim and fire. Try to do some damage. It's a fairly good salvo. 10,000 damage. I saw that the Bismarck took a torp earlier, so he's definitely burned damage con. I'm gonna try to set a fire. Not quite sure how our GK managed to die so early, but yeah, you know, it's random. Anything can happen. He unexpectedly turns in a little bit there, so my shots fly over him. So the Yugimo gets the kill. At this moment, I'm not really focused on doing damage. I'm focused on looking at the minimap. Okay, how is this fight going to develop, and where can I be most effective to help my team win the game? And I see a big battleship push at A, and I see that most of our battleships are at B, and our cruisers are just kind of focused right around in between B and C. So what I want to do is I'm going to move in front of A and flank them using my concealment. That way, they either have to pick between shooting me or shooting my team. And that's going to buy my team some time, and it's also going to make them rather distracted. Also puts a lot of pressure on them, and enemies under pressure tend to aim rather poorly. Yugimo's getting in a gunfight with theirs. I don't break concealment because on the off chance that, or on the half chance that our Yugimo loses the gunfight, I want to be able to surprise radar their Yugimo. Turns out they both die. That's okay. So, unfortunately something spots me. Oh, it's the Zhao. I wasn't really anticipating that, but I switch over to AP. And I wait for the Zhao to turn. So, I think this is a fairly good salvo. It only does 2,000 damage. That's Zhao troll armor for you. Now I realize that the Yamato is really, really closing in, so I want to get out of detection range as quickly as possible. So Baltimore and a Yamato. This is not good. But the important thing is that we have all of our forces at B, and the Baltimore and the Yamato, and there's actually an FDG coming also. Our team doesn't have to deal with them. So hopefully, or I'm just hoping that my team can deal with the guys around B, and then I can distract these guys long enough for the team to regroup. Also, I just noticed that our NC is AFK, which is definitely a bummer. I decided it's probably time to start whittling down this battleship. And I actually see that the Baltimore is showing quite a lot of side, so I switch ammo and I go for him instead. Aim pretty low. I want a Citadel, because the Yamato shoots, so I slide my rear so I don't get Citadel. Unfortunately, no Citadel. Decent amount of normal pens though. At this point, I'm far away enough from the enemy that I can see. I can predict where their shells are going to land just based on their trajectory in midair, and shift my shift to avoid that. See, I know that those shells are fired off to my side, so I shift over a bit and then swing back around. Same thing with these. It'd really be helpful if our NC wasn't AFK, and our NC actually wakes up right about now. So he can be a decent meat shield while I try to DPM these guys down. Switch back over to HE. This Baltimore is no longer giving side. Right now I really should have switched back over to AP. Because, well, I mean, I just thought the Baltimore was going to go nose in, but he didn't. It's okay though, because our NC actually takes him out. And now I want to kite the FDG. I'm just hoping our NC can just, just bow in. Even though he's gonna get lull penned by the Yami, he can probably still last a few good salvos. So I don't get focus fired too heavily by these battleships because I just need to DP them down. That's really what my team needs. Yeah, and I can't really tell how it's going over at B. But if these two battleships are focused on me in the North Carolina, then they're not focused on our battleships, or our force, or the rest of her, and our NC gets dev striked, which is pretty, I gotta say that's just typical. Like, of course he gets dev striked. When I need him the most, yeah, okay, great. So now the FDG doesn't have any kind of AP threat or major AP threat, so he's unable to unsheath all his guns. Which sucks for me. He can show side to me because I can't really punish him for it. Now there's a Yami chasing me as well. I'm waiting for my front guns to get turned around before I start kiting this Yami. I don't really feel comfortable kiting the FDG anymore because he's turning out. He can basically disengage at any time. Looking at the fights going over there, that's going okay. I'm honestly looking for a better opportunity to start kiting these guys, but now I'm realizing that, holy crap, this Yamato is just going to tear apart our team unless I distract him. So I just open up with a rear gun, and I hope he swings over back at me, which he doesn't do for the first salvo. He's found something better to shoot at. And there goes our Iowa. That is unfortunate. I realized a little bit too late that Yami had really, really good shots on the rest of our team. So I kind of fluffed those shots there. I'm not quite sure what happened with those. Fires, so I'm going to full stop and go right. It's really, really difficult to kite a Yamato at just 12 kilometers. Like, I really, really wish I had opened up the distance a little bit more. But honestly, the Baltimore isn't actually faster than the Yamato, especially since I'm trying to kite him and go out of these. I keep making these turns. Again, I'm going to try to bait his shot. That didn't work out super well, but again, he's just so close to me. It's really hard to put myself at a decent distance away from where his shells are going to land or his predicted aim path. So yeah, the situation is not looking so great. Again, both of these battleships have been, for the most part, focused on me, so they've been out of the fight. Fortunately, our team has completely lost it. There's 3 tier 10 cruisers that managed to live, and everyone else except me and the destroyer and 1 battleship that's probably about to die is dead. So even though we had the heavy points advantage from taking B cap early, I think at this point that we're probably going to lose. It's still worth a shot though, so after I open up my distance so I can actually dodge his shells at 13-14 kilometers, I can dodge them pretty comfortably. I start to attrit this guy down. So he fires, I slow down, turn out, right past me, and right past me. Meanwhile, at this distance, I'm still able to very accurately lay down fire on him. Looks like he saved his rear gun, but that's okay, because we're just going to swing our rear end in, and that misses as well. 4 shatters, that's rather unfortunate. Again, I'm going to swing the rear. Those are all going to miss, and I'm going to swing the rear the other way. Most of these should miss as well. Okay, so I'm thinking, how in the world can we possibly win this? Because, we still have a chance. Um, right now, even though the FDG healed up most of his health back. Um, and the Yamato. Oh, never mind. We lost our Yami. So, very, very low chance of winning. But we still actually do have a points advantage. Um, so again, I'm going to distract the battleships. In this case, I played with my speed. As soon as he fired, I slowed down, turned it. All his shells miss. Yami, same thing. Except I do it the other way. Still gets a pen. Unfortunate, and now I'm gonna stealth up. Again, I'm hoping that our Yugimo would be a little smarter. Try to get around the side of the Yamato while I'm distracting them both, and torp him from there. But he goes for a front torp, which I don't think was very smart. I'm now stealthed up. Again, I was just trying to distract the battleships and hope my Yugimo could do something smart. Maybe dev strike the Yamato even, and we actually have a fighting chance. But unfortunately, he just lands one. Use this opportunity to turn out. And now I'm uncomfortably close again, but what can I do? I just open fire again. At this point, I've basically accepted the game is lost, and I just want to do as much damage as possible. I'm going to slow down and turn out, but again, we're at that range where it is very, very difficult to dodge Yamato shells. Looks like they've actually spotted our DD. So, I'm gonna see if I can try to get... Well, my original plan was going to be to try to get the Yamato's attention off the DD and onto me, but looks like our DD doesn't really know how to dodge. Shouldn't have taken that much from Yamato's elbow. Yeah, and in this point I'm just completely screwed. Two battleships, they're both closing in on me. They have all the caps, so what can I do? I'm going to try my best to dodge these salvos and at least make sure I don't get rear citadel by angling. But honestly, I'm just going to get bullpen. Every single time. I kind of contemplate just going back into stealth and, trying to pull something out of my ass, but I kind of realize it's completely hopeless, 1 versus 4. And their tier 10 cruisers are also almost at full hit points. I can probably get one more salvo in. Their cruiser's also zeroing in on me. Oh, one of them's almost dead, but the other one's at full health. Lost cause. This Yamato fires, I'm just completely screwed. Because I was busy trying to juke the FDG. So I actually do juke the Yamato shells, but the FDG gets me. Anyways, all screwed. Well, that was, I believe, 204 or 215. I don't really remember the number. 1,000 damage on a defeat with the Baltimore. Post-screen results said 2,000-ish base XP. Yeah, there's just some games you can't carry, but hopefully this game demonstrated one of the important roles of the Baltimore, which is just to be a really big pain in the ass to enemy battleships. As a flanker, use it to divert their attention away from your team, so make it so your team doesn't have to engage the entire enemy force at the same time. Yeah, that's really about it. Also, some games you just can't carry.